up, Autocons and Deceptibots? Deceptibot9 here. Welcome back to another Transformers ranking video. I know it's been a while, but it is currently April 29th, or is it the 30th? It might be the 30th today. April 30th. We're almost at May. Anyway, that means we're about a quarter through the year, and we've gotten some fantastic figures out in this first quarter of the year. This is one of two Transformer ranking videos that I'm going to be bringing you very soon. Today, we're going to talk about Wave 1 of Studio Series 86. We're going to rank all 6 of those figures. Stay tuned. All right. I'd like to preface this by saying that I don't think any of these figures are particularly bad, and most of them are improvements over whatever last current counterpart we had on the market for these characters was. Some of them it was Titan's Return, and at the time the Titan Returned one for some of them were good, some of them were a little so we're just going to play it by ear. Anyway, coming in at number 6 is Scourge. Scourge is, don't get me wrong, a definite improvement over the Titan's Return Scourge. That one, I'm not a huge fan of the Titan's Return Scourge, but this Scourge looks beautiful, and here he is in robot mode, obviously, and he's gorgeous. He is beautiful from the front, at least too. He looks great. From the sides and the back is when it starts to get a little iffy for me, particularly, especially on the wings. The wing design and the transformation overall feel a little lazy compared to all the other ones, and especially when you compare him to someone like Cyclonus, his buddy Cyclonus from Kingdom, who has an astoundingly amazing transformation to get into both modes. And then we get to Scourge, and his transformation is he just kind of folds up and the wings fold out and cover the top. And I don't know. I feel like they could have done more a little bit, because I know this part is not animation accurate specifically, but hey, looking at him in robot mode from the front, you cannot really go wrong. Scourge looks amazing, and especially when you pair him with Cyclonus and with the upcoming Kingdom Galvatron, I'm sure all three of these figures together are going to look spectacular. All right, coming in at number 5, we've got Jazz. Now, I actually really like Jazz, and the only reason he's so low on this list compared to everybody else is because I like others' transformations better, honestly. What can I say? Jazz here, though, is spectacular. This guy is a vast improvement over the Power of the Primes Jazz that came out in about 2018-ish, 2017. And this Jazz is the Jazz. If you want a G1 style Jazz, this is definitely the route to go with. He looks fantastic here in robot mode. He looks great in vehicle mode. And I wasn't trying to knock the transformation, because transformation is really fun. But one thing you do have to be careful about with this Jazz is that this piece back here, this is all, except for the door wings, that's all clear plastic. And a lot of the transformation relies on these clear plastic and the clear plastic hinges, which are known to break very easily. So take caution if you're going to transform Jazz frequently like I do. I've already got a little bit of a breakage scare at one point, so we're trying to play it safe here. Coming in at number 4 is Cup. And I gotta say, if I were to compare this Cup and the Titan's Return Cup, it's pretty even. I know that might be a little controversial to say, but I like both Cups a lot. This one probably would still get the win, though. I do really like Studio Series 86 Cup. And one of the reasons for that is you can recreate some movie scenes. You can pop off his arms and legs. You can get crazy with it. But also the accessories. I love his gun. His gun looks spectacular. You get the Energon goodies as well, which is always really cool. And the transformation on this Cup is so much better than the transformation on the Titan's Return Cup. And this is it's a great transformation going into both modes. And one of my complaints about this Cup, though, is the torso section looks a little skinny, and I know they had to make a little bit of a sacrifice for the transformation and for the vehicle mode, but it doesn't detract from his look for me at all. I still think Cup looks spectacular, and he looks great in both modes. So this cup, you can't go wrong. And just like that, we've already reached the top 3. I know, that went pretty fast. Speaking of fast, number 3 is Blur. That pun was pretty bad, but hope you enjoy it anyway. Blur. I was really, really, really looking forward to a new Blur, despite me absolutely adoring the Titans Return Blur. I love the Titans Return Blur and the Titan Return Blur mold. I love his transformation. I love the way both modes look for Blur. And even though we were getting a new one, I wasn't disappointed because I knew it could have been better. And somehow it is. They took some of the transformation bits from Titans Return Blur and they improved it on this guy. Plus, they gave him a head that looks spectacular. I don't know if it's going to catch, but his head and his detail looks absolutely spectacular. Transformation is fun. Vehicle mode looks absolutely spectacular. And that's something just across the board with all these Studio Series 86 figures. They really, really nailed it on aesthetic and on looking so accurate to the cartoon animation models. And I love the 86 movie designs so much that all of these figures are really, really exciting and really awesome to mess around with. And this mold particularly, I can't wait to get the Shattered Glass version. I'm very excited about all the Shattered Glass figures that have been coming out. And that takes us to our final 2, with number 2 being Voyager Class Hot Rod. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't like the fact that Hot Rod is a Voyager class. I particularly don't mind it because I think the amount of accessories we got and the engineering it takes to transform this guy is well worth that extra few dollars. I think Hot Rod is absolutely astounding, and I adore the Titans Return Hot Rod mold. I love the Titans Return Hot Rod mold. Power of the Primes, Rodimus Prime isn't that bad. That Hot Rod particularly is a little disappointing compared to Titans Return Hot Rod. But this guy just takes both of those Hot Rods out of the picture because this Hot Rod is phenomenal. And I'm super excited also about the upgrade for Rodimus. I'm a little iffy on the fact that it's Commander class. But this Hot Rod was great. And I have no reason to doubt that Rodimus Prime won't be great either. And this guy, if you can grab this Hot Rod, I definitely recommend grabbing Hot Rod. Even if you're not a Hot Rod fan. I'm a huge Hot Rod fan. But if you don't like Hot Rod, you might like this guy. Transformation rocks. It's so fun going back and forth between this guy. And look at him. Look at him. He just looks good. He looks so, so good. And if you've been following along with what figures I've had and what figures I haven't had in this video, then you can guess who the big number 1 is. Was it any question? Number 1, Studio Series 86, Leader Class Grimlock and Wheelie. Now, if we're going to be honest, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Wheelie's a little bit of a disappointment. He can't really do much, but he looks spectacular. And you can make him dab, points back up. He's instant. Anyway, this Grimlock is astounding. I really, really want them to make the rest of the 86 cartoon Dinobots. And on that note, Leader Class Grimlock from Age of Extinction, the Studio Series one, he's great too. We need those Dinobots as well. Give me all the Dinobots. I want more Studio Series Dinobots. Anyway, back to Grimlock. Grimlock looks fantastic in both modes. Transformation is incredibly fun. It is just kind of the typical Grimlock transformation we've come to expect, you know. Legs flip around to become the tail, head flips up from the back, these fold in, boom, 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 whatever. But some of the ways they've figured out to make the leg tail happen is awesome. It's got bulk to it. It's not just a little thought of stump at the end. You know, a lot of times Grimlock tails turn out to be just there because they had to be and they're built into the legs and whatever. But this one is genius. It gives the legs lots of bulk and they look really nice, and the tail in T-Rex mode is nice and bulky and it doesn't look like an afterthought. It looks like it was put there on purpose, and I can't wait for the other Dinobots that are coming. I know we've at least had Slag pseudo confirmed. He's been leaked through listings and pictures, and he looks great. But I'm really, really hoping that we can get the rest of the Dinobots, both from Age of Extinction and from 86, complete in the Studio Series line, on par with the quality and fantasticness of Grimlock. Because if all of them are like this, that's going to be one hell of a set. So, guys, that is all I have today for the Studio Series 86 figure Wave 1 ranking. Let me know what your ranking of figures down below. If you agree, disagree, if spots move, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it's bound to happen. I have more Transformer videos and non-Transformer videos coming out soon. So, please leave a like, click subscribe for more updates on everything going around. Cybertronians, I will see you all next time.